Aloha, I'm Suzette Nasser. Welcome to TG Talks. The subject of our talk is ownership, taking title to real property, particularly tenants by the entirety. Let's imagine Kai and Emmy recently got married and are buying their first home. One of the most important decisions they will make is how they will hold title. There are 4 types of ownership for them to choose from: tenant in severalty, tenants in common, joint tenants, and tenants by the entirety. Let's say Kai and Emmy considering taking title as tenants by the entirety. What does that mean for them? Well, the first condition for tenants by the entirety is that the property is held by 2 people who are legally married, civil union partners, or Hawaii registered reciprocal beneficiaries. Reciprocal beneficiaries are usually close family members, like a mother or son, who are obviously not married but want to enjoy the benefits of tenants by the entirety. In our scenario, Kai and Emmy, husband and wife, are therefore meeting the first condition of being legally married. For tenants by the entirety, the ownership unit owns the property, so both tenants are needed to convey any interest. Kai would not be able to sell his interest without Emmy, and vice versa. However, if Kai and Emmy were to divorce, this would terminate the tenancy and it would automatically revert to tenants in common because they are no longer legally married. For tenants by the entirety, a creditor can attach a lien to the property as long as that lien is against both tenants. If the lien is only against one of the tenants, then the lien does not attach. In our scenario, if Kai failed to pay his taxes and the state recorded a state tax lien against him, that lien would not attach to the property since it is not a lien against both tenants. However, federal tax liens against one tenant will attach to the property if the lien is only against one. Tenants by the entirety has the right of survivorship. So if one of the tenants were to pass away, the property automatically belongs to the surviving tenant. No probate is needed. Let's say in our scenario, Kai passes away. As tenants by the entirety, his interest in the property would automatically transfer to his wife, Emmy. So let's see how well you understand tenants by the entirety. Zach is your client and wants to sell the property. Upon reviewing the preliminary title report, you notice that currently Zach owns the property with his brother Kai as reciprocal beneficiaries and tenants by the entirety. What would Zach need to do to sell the property? Zach needs Kai to sell the entire property with him. Zach cannot sell his portion since they are tenants by the entirety and they own the property as one unit. One cannot act without the other. Kina owns a home with her husband Brian as tenants by the entirety. Kina passes away. In her will, she leaves her interest in the property to their daughter Alana, who owns Kina's interest in the property. Since the property is held as tenants by the entirety, there is a right of survivorship. This means that Kina's interest will automatically pass to her husband Brian, rather than her daughter Alana, even if she indicated it in her will. To sum it up, if your buyers are considering selecting tenants by the entirety, they should be legally married, civil union partners, or Hawaii registered reciprocal beneficiaries. Understand that they own the property as one unit. One tenant cannot sell or transfer their portion without the other tenant joining in. Be aware that some creditors can only place a lien on the property if the lien is against both tenants. Some liens on an individual would not encumber the property. Know that upon death, the property is transferred to the surviving tenant. We hope this has helped you gain a better understanding of tenants by the entirety. Remember, our TG escrow officers are always available to answer any of your questions. Thank you for joining us on this TG Talks. Aloha.